everybody. Welcome. Happy Friday. It's that time again. Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Very blustery, by the way, downtown Manchester. It's like a wind tunnel here on Elm Street, I'll tell you. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester, streaming at WMNHradio.org. And, of course, at mattconnarton.com. And hello to our friends at Raw Talk Online. And you can go to mattconnarton.com for all of your online streaming options, links to our social media, the phone numbers to call during the show, et cetera, and the archive, of course. It is a Friday, April 23rd, 2021. And so nice to have you all with me. I do want to remind you, of course, we are proudly sponsored by the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan at 1000 Elm Street, right across the street. I don't know if today you want to utilize the terrace necessarily if you go there because it's so windy. My goodness. And I'll tell you what, I almost lost my hat. But the Hop Knot, delicious gourmet pretzels. They have craft beer. They have wine. They have trivia nights on Thursday nights. On Friday nights, our friend Grant Lampton usually plays. I know they had someone else this last Friday because Grant was elsewhere. So I'm not sure if he's playing over there tonight or not. Perhaps we'll hear from him. And, of course, they do Sunday brunch. It's a wonderful place and a great family that owns and operates it. And we're very honored and privileged to have that association and to have them as a sponsor. The Hop Knot, I went there. Speaking of windy, so last night I went over there after I left here. I ordered the pretzel pizza to bring home so Jenny and I could enjoy that. And it was only the second one of those we've had. And, it was so good. And I'm not just saying that because they sponsor us. It is so good. You know, it had the pepperoni and the bacon. Oh, my God, it was so good. But I went over to get it. Well, first I went to my car in the parking garage to put everything. You know, I have my bag from the the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters, or New Hampshire Broadcasters Association. I think that's it. It's important to get things in the correct order, although I do think I'm suffering from adult onset dyslexia. Anyway, so I went to put that in the car and then walk from the car back over across the street. Very convenient to have our sponsor right across the street from the station. But my God, it was so windy. Wow. So anyway, I hope it's not as windy where you are, unless you like that, unless you like the wind. I went through a period when I was a kid, a wee lad, a young urchin. I was probably, 9, 10 years old at the time, where I had this terrible wind phobia. Like every time it got super windy, I just assumed it was a tornado coming to kill us all. I don't know why. I got over it fairly quickly, but it was a challenging time in my childhood. But so I want to mention too, before we go any further, and for those of you watching online, you'll be able to see it. So our friend Eazy-G, I understand from listening to the morning show, today is Jeff Nyan's birthday. So happy birthday, Jeff Nyan. And, he's a big supporter of the shows here, particularly the morning show, although I know he's called into this show occasionally, too, and he might be listening. Happy birthday if you're listening, Jeff. And Eazy-G, Eric Gagnon left this bag. You know, of course, Jeff is Eric's nemesis, but I think it's just so nice that Eazy-G brought in this birthday bag for Jeff. I'm kidding. It's not actually for Jeff. No, I'm kidding. Eazy-G's head just exploded. This is for Christian Lacoss. So when I came in today, and Eric did message me and let me know that this was going to be here, it's in it's got the Diz's Cafe logo on the bag. Diz'sCafe.com, DIZSCAFE.com. I have not been there. I know that our friend Texas Mike is a big fan of Diz's Cafe. But Eric wrote on this, to Christian, for your unbirthday, LOL, a Queen City cupcake, and in quotation marks, he wrote, so tasty. Enjoy from Eazy-G. So there is, in fact, in this bag, I haven't reached into the bag yet. I'm reaching into the bag, and there is this cupcake for Christian Lacoste, apparently for his unbirthday. Now, I have to tell you, Eric, if you're listening, you have taken a terrible risk in leaving this for me to give to Christian, because you're operating under the assumption clearly that I have the discipline to possess this cupcake, to hold this cupcake in my hands, I mean, not directly, it's in a container, but to hold this in my hand and not eat it myself. But I appreciate the faith you have shown in me to have the discipline to take this to Christian. So I am going to put this back in the bag, and I'm going to set the bag back on the floor, and I'm going to forget about it for now. So I am not tempted. Lead me not into temptation, Eazy-G. But, I won't be home until late because tonight we have Retro Spectrum Radio at 7:30. More on that in a moment. But, so that will be also, too, we might see, there could be an appearance from Christian's evil twin, the evil Christian Lacoss. And, he may steal it and eat it. We'll see. But anyway, so that's very nice, Eazy-G, and I'm sure Christian will appreciate it tremendously. The number to call, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007, if you would like to join us today on the program. You can also text me at 617-917-4476, tweet me at Matt Connarton, or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com, and of course, you can always interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. We'll say hello to everybody in there in a moment, but best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is call us at 603-250-6007. Some programming notes, of course, a very special edition of Granite State of Mind tonight at 6 p.m. I believe Kyle Heavey is going to be guest hosting for the great Rob Azevedo. So that is coming up tonight at 6, immediately following this program. Tonight at 7:30, of course, I will be back for Retro Spectrum Radio with Paul E.C. I have the honor and privilege of being Paul's co-host on that program. So Paul will be sitting over here in the command center, if you will, and I'll be over there at the news desk. Our friend Dan Randblett will be here as well. So we look forward to that tonight at 7:30. Monday on the program, we will be joined via the telephone. I don't know if anyone actually says telephone anymore, but via the telephone, Brett Higgins will be calling in. Brett is from a great band called Married Iguana, and they have a show coming up, I believe, May 4th at Jewel Nightclub here in Manchester. So Brett is going to call in on Monday to tell us all about that. Brett's been on the show before, and we had a wonderful time with him. And, right now we're still not, during my program, we're still not having guests per se. We're still keeping it, because of COVID, within the household and within the station if other hosts from WMNH want to pop in as well. But other than that, we're not booking outside guests yet. Not quite yet. We're looking to resume that within the parameters of the station, of course, on May 10th, because on May 10th, it will be 2 weeks after my second shot of the vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine, at which point I will be considered fully vaccinated. And I am high risk because of my asthma. And Jenny is high risk as well. So we've taken that extra step to keep an extra tight bubble. But, I have my second shot of Pfizer on Monday. Jenny's already had both shots. I get my second shot on Monday morning, first thing Monday morning. And then 2 weeks after that, I should be, from what I've been reading, 95 to 97% inoculated, if you will. So I look forward to that. And then we'll kind of revert to whatever the rules of the station are. I know the station still has rules about keeping people socially distanced here in the studio. Back during the winter surge, I just made a decision that during my show we were going to be even stricter because, I certainly trust everyone, our regulars who come into the studio to do what they can to keep themselves safe and to be careful. But, you can do the things that you need to do to keep yourself safe and be careful and still get COVID, especially with these terrible variants that are spreading. So, I made the decision back, I think it was either late fall. I think it was that, I was coming in here every day nervous. What if one of these folks that we have in here all the time, what if one of them, ends up getting it or is exposed to someone who has it, and then, I just didn't even want to deal with the nightmare. I was coming in here nervous about that every day. And at a certain point, I just said, what am I doing? Why don't I just, I'll just be a little bit more strict. So, but I do look forward to getting my second shot on Monday. So, but Brett is going to be calling in. Actually, I'm going to play. There's a particular Married Iguana song that I really, really like that I'm going to play at the top of the show, too, to kind of remind everyone who the band is. And Brett will be calling in on Monday, and we really look forward to talking with him. So let's see. I think, let me give the number again, 603-250-6007. And let's say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat. Brian Mackey appears to be the first one in today. Brian, all the way from Idaho and host of the No More Excuses podcast. If you're watching online, you can see I've got my No More Excuses hat. Brian says it's the weekend. Melanie La Liberty is in the chat room and says good afternoon to you all. Dan Lavasser, who is a top fan, throwing the horns in the chat room. Probably because I opened with that Rage Against the Machine, Guerrilla Radio. I hadn't played that in a long time, appropriate for the show. I had to find, of course, the radio edit because it's got bad words in it, but so I had to play the edited version where they say, turn that up. Alfredo Enrique Benavides is in the chat room and says, afternoon. Hello, Alfredo. Stefan Philbrook is a top fan. Stefan is quoting lyrics from the Humpty Dance. I'm a freak. I like the girls with the boom. I once got busy in a Burger King bathroom. I'm crazy. Did something happen to the Humpty Hump guy? What's his name there? The guy who does that song? Who does that? Did something happen to him? Because I thought I heard a reference made also on the morning show. Stephen Philbrook says, R.I.P. Shock G. Oh, is Shock G from, what was the name? I can't remember now. The name of the, who was it? I can't even remember. Anyway, R.I.P. Shock G. Eric Street is a top fan in the chat room. He says, today's my Facebook is a teenager. Created the account 13 years ago. Oh, I see your Facebook page. Your Facebook account is a teenager created 13 years ago. Yes. Well, happy birthday to your Facebook account, Eric Street. Alfredo says Queen City has vegan cupcakes, best in town. Oh, that's good to know at Queen City Cupcake. Stefan says, how about a little Humpty dance during the break? I don't know, Stefan. I don't remember why. But for some reason, I played that song once. I found a radio edit because there's that song is problematic because even on the radio edit, it still sounds like they're swearing. And there's times where I think the guy is saying funk, F-U-N-K, but it sounds like he's saying the F word. And it's like, ever since the Stacey Wilcox incident, I'm on eggshells around here. So I'm not even going to take the chance, Stefan. Not even going to take the risk. But what happened? So Shock G, he wasn't the main guy, was he? I don't know who Shock G is. Alfredo says, I used to be in Married Iguana. Great band. That's right. I thought you had some sort of affiliation with them. Tom Blanchard says, speaking of telephone, as of tomorrow, we now have to dial all 10 numbers? What? Really? Is that a thing? You have to dial all, what? You mean like even if you're calling a local number now if you're calling a number within your area code, you'll have to dial all 10 no matter what? Is that true? I kind of just do that anyway out of habit. But Alfredo says, I'm actually the lead guitarist and keyboardist on the track you're going to play. Oh, very good. Well, I'm glad I'm going to play that then. Yeah, it's a great song, The Flow by Married Iguana. We'll play that at the break at the top of the hour. Yeah, Brian Mackey says it has all those FCC no-nos. Melanie says Facebook also doesn't like bad words. That's true. Oh, Digital Underground, that's who it is. Brian Mackey shared the link. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I never really liked that song. That's probably why I couldn't remember who it was. Digital Underground's, this is from TMZ, the link Brian shared. Digital Underground's Shock G dead at 57. Shock G, famous for the Digital Underground hit song The Humpty Dance, and his work with Tupac Shakur is dead. The rap legend was found dead Thursday in a hotel room in Tampa, according to his father, Edward Racker. Oh, okay. Well, R.I.P. Shock G. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
It's Christian.
I
wanted to update you.
Yes.
Now, remember how you were telling me about the whole COVID vaccine, about how you were so tired? Two days later?
Yeah, 2 days after my first shot of Pfizer, I got very fatigued and I slept for 12 hours.
Hitting hard today.
Now, you got the Moderna, correct?
I got the Moderna, yes.
Yeah, yes.
But I am absolutely knocked today. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
It's like I can't even stay awake, and it sucks.
Are you at work right now still?
Yes. Don't look like I'm making it out anytime soon, because on top of that, I was late today, like you saw.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was so tired.
I had to give you a ride to work.
I know. Thank you for that ride to work.
Oh,
it was
you're
very
welcome.
cold out this morning.
Yeah, it was cold.
I heard through a little birdie that there was something there for me.
Oh, you heard that? Yes. There is a. Why does my computer want to restart right now? There is here. Yes, Christian. This was left for you by Eazy-G, who I'm sure is in mourning right now because a family member of his, Shock G, has passed away. So condolences to Eazy-G and the entire G family. But yes, Eazy-G, despite his being in mourning, brought in for you this. I don't know why it's in a Diz's Cafe bag, but because it's actually from Queen City Cupcake. But yes.
Oh, I love that place. That's like one of my favorite places.
Well, happy birthday to you then, or unbirthday.
It's my birthday. I didn't know that.
I don't understand. Well, he actually wrote on the bag. He wrote for your unbirthday, LOL. So is there something here I'm not aware of? Is there some sort of inside joke between you and Eazy-G?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Well, apparently, when is your birthday anyway? I don't even know when your birthday is.
Wow, you let me move in. Mm-hmm. You don't even know my birthday.
I'm terrible at birthdays. I remember my birthday and Jenny's birthday, and that literally is about it. I know my dad's birthday.
Okay.
My dad's is sometime in August. Yours. I don't know exactly when. I'm sorry, what? When is it?
I don't even remember yours.
Yeah, well, I don't tell anybody. Because I don't care about my birthday, really. So I just don't even, hey, this is the way I look at birthdays. When you're a kid, birthdays are fun. It's like you get cake and presents and stuff. When you're an adult, it's like, oh, it's time to register and inspect my car. Oh, happy birthday to me.
Well, if I'm being honest with you, growing up, I didn't have any birthday parties, really.
Oh. Well, that's sad.
But now that I'm, like, turning 21 and stuff, it's like.
But when?
Dude.
When
November.
November, okay.
Great time.
Right.
Great time to turn 21. Well, I mean, because when I was younger, my birthday was in November, so it was like right before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, you'll get your birthday presents for Christmas.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of people
and it was
doing that.
I absolutely hate that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you feel ripped off.
There was one time my birthday was on Black Friday, too. And that was a disaster.
What? Why is that?
Because I wanted so much stuff, and I used to tell my parents before they got divorced. I'd be like, "Oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. It's Black Friday. There's a deal."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nope. They said nope.
Wow.
But now, joke's on them. I can buy that stuff myself. I've done this thing called adulted.
That's right. Adulting. You have a job and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, no, very good.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
no, I wanted to call and tell you about this COVID thing, the COVID vaccine.
Yes.
I don't have COVID. COVID vaccine symptoms.
Yes.
Yeah, because I am going to go home tonight, and you're not going to see me. I'm going to be asleep.
You'll be fast asleep. Now, we should remind people, though, that is actually a good thing if you have some sort of reaction to it, because it means your body is responding to the vaccine the way that it should and building that immunity for you. So it's actually a good thing.
Definitely, and I've also had a little bit of a headache, but I can't tell if that's from being overtired or either. Because it was weird, because my sleep schedule got screwed up last night because I had to hop on a phone call or something.
Yeah.
And then I went right back to sleep, and I was like, oh, I'll set my alarm for 8:30 to be up for work for 10.
Yeah.
I wake up at 10:14. I'm like, what's going on? I never sleep like this.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the deepest sleep I think I've been in.
Yeah. Hopefully, I get my second shot of Pfizer on Monday, and hopefully, I know some people have more severe symptoms or side effects, I should say, after the second shot.
That's what they're saying.
So I hope that I hope Monday goes okay for me.
Oh, by the way, get this, okay?
Yes.
I booked my tickets today for my vacation, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the flight.
Mm-hmm.
$157 round trip.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's a great price.
That's insane.
That's a great price.
That's a lovely price, man. I'm like, and best of all, this is the first flight I've booked myself, so I'm hitting milestones here.
Wow. Look at you. You're all grown up. You deserve a cupcake.
I know.
Well, congratulations.
I know. But yeah, I just wanted to call and tell you about this COVID symptoms. Or COVID vaccine symptoms.
COVID vaccine symptoms, yes.
Everybody's going to think I have COVID now.
Side effects. COVID vaccine side effects, yes. Well...
and can you fill me in? Who's G-Shock? Or Shock G? My bad.
Shock G is from Digital Underground and had a huge hit song called The Humpty Dance, which you've probably... I mean, it was before your time, but I'm sure you've heard the song. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Shock G, also a distant cousin of Eazy-G. So,
I think I heard something about that, yeah.
Yeah. So condolences to the G family.
Let's take it easy, though, because Eric's mom is having a rough time, he said, so let's...
Oh, I did see a Facebook post about that. Yes.
Yeah, so let's stray away from that subject.
Right. Eric's mom?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we usually talk about his dad and what his dad wants to be called. You know, like whether it's the king of all farts or the old guy or whatnot. We usually focus on the paternal unit in the Gagnon household, not the maternal.
Is he doing his entertainment report today?
No, I don't know when he's doing his next one, I think Thursday or Friday. He was a bit non-committal about when...
like I'm saying, it doesn't take that much, add another zero to my salary.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't take that much.
I know. Well, like you said, though, let's be a little bit patient with Eazy-G. His mom's not feeling well, and he just lost his distant cousin, Shock G. So, he's having a hard day.
We'll talk about this in the debriefing after the show.
And he brought you a cupcake, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
So here I am undermining this man after he got me a cupcake. Now I feel terrible.
Yes, as you should. Well, of course you feel terrible. You just had your first shot of Moderna. You're tired.
Not that terrible. I feel terrible about, because of that. But
Yes.
You confuse me.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, Chris.
All right, well, I'm going to go back to work now.
All right, have an energy drink or something. Keep you awake.
Oh, I already did.
Okay, good. Well,
that was my go-to.
Hopefully it kicks in.
Me too. I hope it does.
All right. You'll get through it.
I hope so.
You will.
You'll see me passed out on the porch.
Okay, well, if the weather's...
Trying to get inside.
Well,
Christian got home. Oh, he's asleep on the porch.
Well, when I come home later, I'll check the porch. Make sure you're not asleep on the porch.
Okay.
All right, very good. All right, Christian. I'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, Christian Lacoss. Yes, he had his first shot of Moderna a couple days ago, and he is feeling the effects. But that opens up a line for you, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. So it says here, again, this is regarding the death of Shock G from Digital Underground. This is from TMZ. We're told the cause of death is unclear, but there were no signs of trauma. Shock's father says authorities will conduct an autopsy. Shock G was the lead singer for the pioneering hip-hop group Digital Underground, and he gets into character as his alter ego, Humpty Hump, for the group's famous 1989 song and dance. Shock was also known for his collabs with Tupac. He's featured on Tupac's 1993 song, I Get Around, and was one of the producers on Tupac's 1991 debut solo album, Tupacalypse Now. I didn't know that. In fact, Shock G helped introduce Tupac to the music world. Tupac was a member of Digital Underground when he appeared on the group's 1991 song and music video Same Song for his first published work. Shock G was born and raised on the East Coast, but he eventually settled in Oakland, where he formed Digital Underground in the late 1980s with Chopmaster Jay and Kenneth Water. In addition to his work with Tupac, Shock G produced songs for Dr. Dre, Prince, and KRS-One, just to name a few. He was 57. Wow, I didn't know he had produced for all those other artists. I had no idea. All right, well, very, very sad. Rest in peace, Shock G. Let's see. Christian Lacoss is in the Facebook live chat, by the way, as is Scott Robinson. Scott says, I'm confused. When is the entertainment report? Very disappointed. Yeah, Scott, Eazy-G did the entertainment report earlier in the week, and he did have some Amanda McCarthy tour dates, but I don't think you were listening that day, or at least you weren't in the Facebook live chat. You snooze, you lose, my friend. But of course, all the shows are archived if you'd like to go back and listen at WMNHradio.org, and we also put them up at mattconnerton.com. Let's see. Bobby Champagne says, strange how the 50-something-year-old rappers have been passing away lately. Mike Pelopita joins us and says, happy Friday, everyone. Mike, of course, from another one of our wonderful sponsors here at WMNH 95.3, Queen City Cabinetry. And Mike and that business are big supporters of all the shows here and of the station. Tom Blanchard says, welcome to adulthood, referring to the young Christian Lacoss. Mike was asking regarding Christian and his flight, will you be sitting inside the plane? I think there's some sort of FAA requirement that you have to put the passengers inside the plane. I don't think you're allowed to have them outside during the flight. Has something to do with air pressure, and it gets really cold. Wayne Noel is a top fan all the way from Michigan and says, afternoon all. DJ Midas is in the chat room as well. Midas was commenting on, Alfredo had commented, listen to the whole Sex Packets album by Digital Underground. I will have to check that out later. Apparently it's quite good, according to Alfredo, and DJ Midas agrees. Midas, of course, part of the WMNH family, host of Late Night Delight, which you can hear every Saturday night from 12 midnight all the way to 4 a.m. with a replay on Sunday. Mike Pelopita says, I read Tupac started as a roadie for Digital Underground. That's interesting. I did not know that. Brian Mackey, very helpfully for you, Scott Robinson, posted the Amanda McCarthy, a link to some Amanda McCarthy tour dates in the Facebook live chat. So there you go. Hopefully it's the correct Amanda McCarthy. There is more than one. Miriam Banish joins us in the Facebook live chat and says, hello. Hello, Miriam. And Rocky Huber also joins us and says, hey, leave those for Easy. Yes. Our friend Eazy-G. Excuse me, Eazy-G is going to be, what did he say, Thursday or Friday next week? Like I said, he was a bit non-committal on when he would be joining us next. A couple different things we could discuss on this Friday afternoon, but there was something specific. I don't know if we should get into this now or save it for the second hour. Yeah, we'll save the other thing, and I'm not gonna say what it is. Because in case we end up not getting to it, we might save it for another day. But Bobby Champagne says, I hope Eazy-G doesn't start spitting the rhymes. He's in his 50s. Oh, that's true. I wanted to talk about what's happening in California, actually. We'll do that next, and we'll save the other thing for later. Caitlyn Jenner has announced her candidacy. But let's grab this call first. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, it's Eazy-G.
Oh, Eazy-G. My condolences on your
yeah, I know.
On
That's
Shock
fake
G.
news.
Oh, Shock G's not.
I never heard of that guy before. He's not a member of my family.
It's fake news. Shock G is not really dead.
Rest in peace. Walter Mondale died this week, too, so he can rest in peace, too.
Walter Mondale, former vice president in the Carter administration and former...
He lived a long life. He had a good run.
Former Democratic nominee in 1984.
93 years old.
93, yep.
Ran for president, didn't do very well, but I gave him credit for throwing his name in the hat.
From the great state of Minnesota, Dennis Miller used to do a joke about Mondale, how Mondale got stomped like a narc at a biker rally in the 1984 election.
Reagan took him to the cleaners.
Oh, you talk about, that's a real landslide. I mean, Trump likes to talk about, I won in a landslide. No. Reagan defeating Mondale in 84, that was a landslide.
I think he won every state, right?
I think Mondale might have carried his home state of Minnesota, and that's it. And Reagan just pretty much ran the table everywhere else. Yep.
Yeah, I guess Kristen Lacoss has been to the Queen City Cupcakes before, I guess.
Yes, it sounds like he's a big fan. Now, I have a question. Why is the cupcake from Queen City Cupcakes, why is it in a bag for Diz's Cafe?
Well, I needed a bag to hold it into onto the door, so.
Uh-huh.
And I had to be at Diz Cafe early for lunch, so I said, can I have an extra bag? So they said, oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, I see.
It fit perfectly on the door, so there you go. Today is his unbirthday today. Any day it's not your birthday, it's called your unbirthday. You ever heard that joke?
No, I've never heard that in my life.
Yeah, if it's not your today's your happy unbirthday to you and me.
Oh.
Any day it's not your birthday, it's called your unbirthday.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Well, there you go. So he'll enjoy his. Hopefully, he'll enjoy his Queen City Cupcake. It's a double chocolate.
You shouldn't tell me.
Never go wrong with chocolate.
You shouldn't tell me these things. It's right.
Oh, I know. It smells so good. I had it for only for an hour or so, and I said, "Boy, this thing smells really good." I'm not a big chocolate guy,
it's right there. You shouldn't be
telling
me
really
this.
Agree with me, so.
Shouldn't be telling me this. So, Eric, when are you doing your entertainment report?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking Thursday or Friday, but I got a lot of things on the cooking right now. So,
well, you're an important.
It'll have to be to be announced, but I'm thinking Thursday or Friday, but it depends because
you're an important and powerful man.
Best at the moment, and
what's up?
I've got some doctor's appointments. Potentially, I don't think I have too many doctor's appointments this week, but I might have a doctor's appointment this week that I might have to take care of. So it will. We'll shoot for Thursday or Friday, but if I can't do it, I'll always let you know.
Yes.
I do got a lot of things cooking right now in my world, as I say.
By the way, someone sent me, and I won't say who it is unless he tells me that it's okay to say. Someone sent me a picture. Someone was watching you on Norm and Friends, and sent me a picture of you, a close up of you on the show, and you look so sad. You look so unhappy to be there.
Yeah, it wasn't my finest hour. I had to.
Oh well, what are you gonna do?
In case no one's listening. I tried to go with the flow, but boy, was I bored.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
I don't know how you survived all those years, 47 years. Why are you on that show for 47 years co-host?
I was Norm's co-host for 47 years. Yeah, that's true.
I was only his co-host for 2 hours. I was so bored. I think I fell asleep a couple times almost.
Well, I became a bit of a disruptor on that program because, Norm would
not you, Matt.
Norm would be doing his thing, and I was kind of the sarcastic, smart-ass, skeptical sidekick.
Did Norm ever give you a tarot reading?
Oh, I'm sure. I don't really remember, but I'm sure he did. No, but you know what?
Yeah.
But I'll never say a bad thing about Norm because Norm actually.
No, me either. He's just funny. He's a funny guy.
Oh, I know. Norm, and I think his
This is not my kind of funny,
that's all. I think his politics are horrible, but Norm is the one who gave me my first opportunity to really be on television. He saw.
Oh, really? Like Mike Doyle did to me.
Yeah. Like he saw something in me that I didn't know was there, and were it not for him giving me that opportunity, where I kind of learned how to get comfortable in front of a microphone and whatnot, I don't know, if I would be doing this show. Most likely I wouldn't be doing this show today. So I don't know.
You were telling everybody on the show the other night that you were responsible for him not smoking anymore.
Yes, well, in a way. Ultimately, he's responsible for that, but it is true. I did
Right, you helped him.
I hypnotized Norm live on the air. I am a certified hypnotherapist. That's
yes, you are.
A big part of what I do for a living. And yes, I did hypnotize Norm live on the air to quit smoking, which is the most common thing that clients do come to me for.
And he just had surgery for cancer, apparently. So
yeah, he had.
He's doing well, I guess.
He had breast cancer, I believe.
Yeah, it's really rare in men, but it can happen.
It is, yeah. Jenny and I know a couple of people who have had breast cancer. You can get cancer in your chest if you're a man. So
yeah, there was a couple of years ago. I was at the Relay for Life, and this guy had he was a featured speaker that afternoon, and he had breast cancer. So only two people I've known now. I don't know this guy very well, but I saw him there giving the speech. And
Peter Criss,
he's a cancer survivor.
Peter Criss, the original drummer of Kiss, had breast cancer. I think 6 or 7 years ago. Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
So, men do get it. So check your pecs.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
all righty.
All right, Eazy-G. Make sure, hey.
Have a great weekend.
Hey, when we get off the phone, check your pecs. All right. All right, Eazy-G leaves us. Well, that opens up a line for you, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. We'll get to Caitlyn Jenner in a moment, but we have some more Facebook live chat comments in here. Dan Lavasser, who is a top fan, says, your unbirthday is the halfway point between birthdays. I have heard that. Eazy-G might be using the term unbirthday a bit broadly. Melanie says, so every other day besides your actual birthday is your unbirthday? Apparently, according to Eazy-G, yes. Rocky Huber says, if Christian Hamhands Lacoss had a rap battle with Hard G, I pick Hard G. Yes, of course, Hard G, Eazy-G's hip-hop alter ego. I mean, Hard G was spitting rhymes even before, what's his name? The other G from Digital Underground there. I mean, I think really the pivotal point of Hard G's career, he had that double album, Hard to Be Easy, Easy to Be Hard. Came out, I think, what was that, 1987? That was really, I'll tell you, those were some dope rhymes there, Hard G. Eric Street says, so would your birthday be your unhalf birthday? It's a good point. Let's see. Brian Mackey says, nothing in your world is more important than your responsibility as the entertainment reporter on WMNH. Snap out of it. Yes. A little bit of a pep talk for Eazy-G from our friend Brian Mackey. That is true. I mean, that really should, Eric, if you're still listening, that should take precedence over everything. I mean, again, I know your morning, what was his name, Trip G or whatever from Digital Underground. I know you're upset, but come on. Miriam says, we celebrated one birthday and a whole lot of unbirthdays at work today. Lots of gluten-free for me. I don't even understand the whole, is gluten bad? All I know about gluten is it's fun to say. And we all agree on that. I like to say the word gluten. I just think it sounds funny, and I like it. I like the way it sounds. Miriam says, maybe I need hypnosis to stop me eating so much sugar. Well, actually, Miriam, hypnotherapy is useful for that. I do all my sessions now. I had to adapt to this new world, although it worked out pretty well. I use a service called Doxy.me. It's kind of like using Zoom, but it's specifically for medical providers and other kinds of providers, and it works well for what I do. But yeah, we do it all online now. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's see. Miriam says, my doc recommended gluten-free to me, so I'm under medical orders. Oh. Tom Blanchard says, your bad habits will eventually catch up with you. Well, that is what happens as we get older. Our bad habits catch up with us. Just ask, what was his name again? The guy from, whatever. Okay. So Caitlyn Jenner is running for governor of California. Apparently she's a Republican, but a Republican who is trans-friendly. So, I don't know. I mean, does that make her, is that going to fly? I want to be careful about how I express this. It's, trans issues are such a third rail, but will other Republicans accept her? Now, this has to do with the recall effort. And where does that stand, actually? In case you don't know, and this is why this is happening, they are trying to, there is an effort underway to recall current California Governor Gavin Newsom. Now, back in, 2000, I want to say 2003, 2004, they tried to, they did. This has happened in California before. They, California governor recall. They recalled at the time Democrat Gray Davis in California. People were very upset with Gray Davis. And the way that it works in California, it was 2003. Okay. The way that it works in California is if a recall happens, all these people, not only does, if the sitting governor who is being recalled manages to win the recall election, then that governor gets to stay. However, it's a bit of a free-for-all in that basically anybody who wants to run in the recall election can. And that's how they ended up with Governor Schwarzenegger, as Alfredo points out in the chat room. That's how Arnold Schwarzenegger got elected to be governor of California. They recalled Gray Davis. But I remember vividly in 2003, it was nuts. Like Gary Coleman, you had these other celebrities getting into the race. Gary Coleman was running, a bunch of other people. Cruz Bustamante, who at the time was Gray Davis's lieutenant governor, he ran and lost. Like I said, it ended up being Schwarzenegger, but I remember the whole thing was so out of control. I think there were well over 100 candidates on the ballot. I mean, it's just a really interesting system. Very much the Wild West, which I suppose is appropriate. It is California. But I remember at one point they had a game show on Comedy Central. It wasn't a long-form, full season of game shows, though. It was just like a 1-hour special. But it was a game show format titled Who Wants to Be Governor of California? It's probably on YouTube. I'm sure it is if you want to check it out. Who Wants to Be Governor of California? They were just making a mockery of the whole thing that was kind of a mockery to begin with. And the winner of the game show was Mary Carey, who was an adult film actress at the time. So she won the opportunity to be governor of California within the context of the game show. I don't remember. I don't remember how many contestants there were, but apparently she was the smartest of the bunch. I think Gary Coleman participated in the game show, and I don't remember who else was there. But congratulations to Mary Carey. Yeah, now, she never actually went on to become governor of California, but she did win the game show. Anyway, KCRA has a story. I want to just kind of get caught up on what is happening, and then we'll talk about Caitlyn Jenner specifically. So KCRA.com, which is a station out there, Newsom recall. What to know about California's recall process for governor. It says here, the final deadline to submit signatures for the petition to recall Governor Gavin Newsom has passed. Californians will soon find out officially if the recall will get on the ballot, and prominent Republicans, including Caitlyn Jenner, have already said they're running for California governor. While organizers say they have collected more than the number of signatures required to get the measure on the ballot, finalizing the process continues. Here are the rules for recalling a governor in California, important deadlines, and answers to other questions about the recall election. So the way the process works is the Secretary of State's office outlines all of the rules to launch a recall petition. The recall needs, I don't know why it's such a precise number. Oh, I do see why. Okay. So the recall needs 1,495,709 valid signatures, which is 12% of the 12,464,235 votes cast in the previous gubernatorial election. Now, I would think that getting 1.5 million signatures would be quite cumbersome. So, how many signatures does the campaign to recall Newsom say they have? Tom Del Beccaro, chairman of RescueCalifornia.org, and I've seen him on television. He's a Republican strategist. He tweeted on February 10 that the campaign had collected over 1.5 million raw signatures. The number has since risen to more than 1.9 million, but many still need to be verified and deemed valid by counties. How many verified signatures does the recall campaign have? Counties have submitted 1.8, I'm rounding off at this point, 1.8 million total signatures as of March 11. So far, about one and a half have been verified, 1.5 million. So they're going to, anyway, the point being they're going to get there. Okay. So let's get to the Caitlyn Jenner piece of this. This is from Axios. Caitlyn Jenner makes it official. Says here, former Olympic decathlete and reality TV star Caitlyn Jenner on today, officially announced her bid for governor of California. By the way, this has been a rumor for several weeks, but she has now made it official. Jenner, a longtime Republican, is seeking to replace Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom in a recall election, hoping her celebrity status and name recognition can yield an upset in the nation's most populous state. But in deep blue California, she's decidedly not branding herself as a Trump Republican, even as she's counting on some of the former president's advisors to drive her strategy. She's assembled a team of prominent GOP operatives, including Tony Fabrizio, the top pollster on Trump's 2016 and 2020 campaigns, Ryan Irwin, founder of Red Rock Strategies, and Tyler Deaton, president of Allegiance Strategies. She's also hired Stephen Chung, a former Trump White House and campaign communications hand who worked on Arnold Schwarzenegger's successful 2003 recall campaign. Trump's former campaign manager, Brad Parscale, who was in the news quite a bit. A personal friend of Jenner's has helped her assemble her team, but he doesn't plan to take an official title on the campaign. The campaign's website and WinRed donation page are set to go live today. Jenner said in a statement that, quote, Sacramento needs an honest leader with a clear vision, and that for the past decade we have seen the glimmer of the Golden State reduced by one-party rule that places politics over progress and special interests over people, unquote. The statement decries California's taxes as too high and criticizes an over-restrictive lockdown response to the COVID pandemic, including on in-person schooling. This is Gavin Newsom's California. This is from her statement, quote, this is Gavin Newsom's California, where he orders us to stay home, but goes out to dinner with his lobbyist friends, unquote. Which, by the way, is a perfectly reasonable thing and fair to hit him on. For those who don't remember, California has had very restrictive lockdowns, which I actually agree with, by the way. And if you're a regular listener of the show, you know what a COVID hawk I am. I think all of that is necessary. However, Gavin Newsom was caught having dinner, not social distanced, at a table full of people who, it turned out, are donors of his. And so it's obvious what's going on there. Do as I say, not as I do. This is a business. Politics is a business. And these are fat cat donors want to meet with me. And we're going to have some dinner. And we're going to ignore what I tell the rest of you to do. So which he did end up apologizing for. But, I mean, not only was he displaying hypocrisy in doing what he's telling others he can't do, but you look at the reason why he was doing it. It's all about the money, because it's always about the money in politics, right? A campaign advisor tells Axios that Jenner has greater name ID than Newsom and can command the kind of earned media that, quote, will go to every possible demographic you could think of, unquote. Jenner, a trans woman, quote, is very socially liberal. She's running as someone that's socially liberal and fiscally conservative, unquote. That might fly. That might get her elected. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a Republican, but on social issues, I don't think he's anyone's idea of a conservative. And let me remind you all, too, or tell you for the first time, if you're too young to remember this, because we're going way back now. We're going back to the 1970s when Reagan was governor of California. When I was just a wee lad, a young urchin, before, when I can even remember. But when Reagan was governor of California as a Republican, you know, he largely liberalized abortion, access to abortion in the state of California. Now, he shifted quite rightward as, when he declared himself a presidential candidate. But Ronald Reagan, the patron saint of conservatism, even he wasn't the most socially conservative guy as governor. It also says here, Jenner publicly voiced support for Trump until 2018 when he rolled back federal guidelines allowing transgender students to use bathrooms of their choice. She wrote, quote, "My hope in him was misplaced," unquote. The advisor said, quote, "Certainly she has not seen eye to eye with Trump on a lot of things. I think that Caitlyn will talk to anyone, Democrat or Republican. Donald Trump is not going to be the deciding factor for the state of California," unquote. Jenner's team is convinced that the race is totally winnable, but recent polling shows the scale of the challenge. A statewide survey this month had support for recalling Newsom at just 40%. That's just one of two contests Jenner would have to win. If a majority votes to recall Newsom, voters then select from the huge group of candidates vying to replace him. And if it's anything like 2003, by the way, it will be, more than 100 people. So, I mean, she might have a shot. I won't snicker at this. I know some people, whenever a celebrity, whenever a celebrity runs for public office, we have a tendency to kind of snicker at that, right? Hey, you don't have to go back far to see a pretty specific example of where you snicker at your own peril. I remember when a certain individual by the name of Donald J. Trump announced his candidacy for the presidency. And people said, this is a novelty. This is not going to work. Don't take him seriously. I never said that because early polling showed him way into the double digits when the rest of the Republican field was in single digits. And then he killed everybody in the New Hampshire primary in 2016. I mean, come on. Well, 2015 for the 2016. Yeah, that's right. It's in January. Sorry. Time. I'm not good with time. Anyway, so, I think she has a shot. I mean, if somebody more famous than her gets in, she might have a problem. But I think her fame, and being what I suppose one would call a liberal Republican, because in a state like California, you're not going to win the governorship as a conservative Republican. Much like, say, Massachusetts, for example, the governor of Massachusetts, Charlie Baker. I mean, he's, pretty liberal for a Republican. So was Bill Weld. Then there was Mitt Romney when he was governor of California. He told everyone he was going to be a liberal Republican. And then once he actually sat at the governor's desk, he kind of said, fooled you. But that's another story. We are just past the top of the hour. Let's play that Married Iguana track. Brett Higgins from Married Iguana is going to be joining us on Monday via phone, and Alfredo plays on this as well, as we learned earlier. So we look forward to that, talking to Brett Higgins on Monday, but we're going to play this track. This is The Flow by Married Iguana, and then we're going to show some love to our sponsors, and then we will come back with more Matt Connarton Unleashed. We are live from WMNH 95.3. Welcome back. We are well into hour number 2, numero dos of Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM on in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. This computer of mine that I bring with me desperately wants to restart, and I don't know what the hurry is, but it keeps telling me, hey, I keep having to tell it, wait another hour. Anyway, I don't know. But, yes, we are live from the studios of WMNH and, of course, on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester, streaming at WMNHradio.org and on the Facebook on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. It is Friday, April 23rd, 2021. And the number to call is 603-250-6007 if you would like to join us, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476, tweet me at Matt Connarton, or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And, of course, you can comment in the Facebook live chat on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. But the best thing to do is give us a call, 603-250-6007. And don't wait until the last minute, because it is Friday, and Granite State of Mind with the great Rob Azevedo. But Rob, as a guest host this week, Mr. Kyle Heavey will be sitting in. But that starts at 6 p.m. And, of course, so I kind of wind down this part of the program a little bit early on Fridays. We play some music for the transition, obviously, but I need a little time to clean up and sanitize and wipe down and disinfect, because we are still in the COVID era, so we want to keep everybody safe. So don't wait until the last minute is the point. Don't call me at 5:50 and expect I'm going to be able to pick up the phone. But give us a call soon, 603-250-6007. Yes, Granite State of Mind at 6 p.m. And then tonight at 7:30, Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C. And I will be here for that as well. I am Paul's co-host on that program, along with our great friend Dan Randlett, who will be sitting over there on the couch for that. So be sure to stick around for that tonight as well. And I do want to remind you that we are proudly sponsored by the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan, right across the street at 1000 Elm Street. I can wave, but there's a slight delay. They won't see it, but I'll wave anyway. They've got the wonderful terrace set up there. Might be a little bit windy for that today. You might want to go indoors if you go, but please go and continue to support our wonderful sponsor. Last night, Jenny and I got the pretzel pizza again. And, it was so good. They put the bacon and the pepperoni, and oh, my God, it's just wonderful. Just wonderful. Although I almost got blown away trying to get it, I'll tell you. It was very, very windy out here yesterday. Unlike today. Well, actually, it's also very, very windy today. But, please continue to support the Hop Knot. Great, great place. And all of our great sponsors here at WMNH. I see Mike Pelopita in the Facebook live chat from Queen City Cabinetry. Of course, there's the Regency Collection and the OG of WMNH sponsors, CGI Business Solutions. They've been here from the beginning. So, in the chat room, Melanie said, this is regarding Caitlyn Jenner, who has announced her candidacy for governor of California. Melanie said, if the Republicans accept Jewish laser lady, don't they have to automatically accept anyone else? Well, yes. I mean, Republicans do accept with open arms Marjorie Taylor Greene. So there you go. Alfredo says, speaking of celebrities, Matthew McConaughey said he'll run for governor in Texas. We'll see. We'll see if he actually does. Doesn't know which party he'll run in, but he's polling high already. Wow. All right. Alfredo also says, because earlier I was talking about the game show that was on Comedy Central in 2003, Who Wants to Be Governor of California, when they were recalling Gray Davis, and they had all these celebrities in, so they did a mock game show on Comedy Central, which was won at the time by adult film star Mary Carey. Alfredo says the MTV VJ Kennedy also participated in Who Wants to Be Governor of California. That's right. That's right. She was there. She is now, of course, on Fox Business. She's a libertarian, and but she's sometimes is kind of the voice of reason when it comes to Fox. Oh, she also used to be on that show. What is the show? Outnumbered? Maybe she still is on that. Anyway, I always liked Kennedy. Alfredo says, so did Bill Walton of Lakers basketball fame. Oh, okay. That I did not remember. Brian Mackey says, I started a campaign to collect money for C4 explosives and a team to throw a bunch of it into the faults, the earthquake, the faults, like the San Andreas fault. And on my birthday, we push the button and California will just drift away. Oh, my goodness. Growing up, they always said, I guess it was kind of a joke, but maybe some people believed it, that someday there would be such a tremendous earthquake that California would actually split from the rest of the United States and just drift away into the ocean. Not that that's actually possible. Although, if California were to separate from the United States, we talk about, like when Dave Ridley calls in, we talk about NH exit, the people who want New Hampshire to secede from the United States and be our own country, which obviously is never going to happen. But from everything I've read, the one state in the country that might be able to pull it off, and again, it's never going to happen, would be California, because economically, I think California is something like the 7th or 8th largest economy in the entire world. And the California economy is such that if they had to function as their own country, they could do it economically. They could probably pull it off, or at least of any of the 50 states, they could pull it off better than anyone else could. They'd be best positioned for that. And again, it's never going to happen. I also remember a number of years ago, there was someone who came up with a plan to, I can't remember the name of the guy, but he had this plan to split California up into 5 different states. But we won't get into all that. But it was pretty interesting at the time. Alfredo points out Caitlyn Jenner supported Trump early on. California would never go her way. For that reason, I don't know. Some people have very short memories. I don't know that they would necessarily hold that against her, especially where, she kind of turned on Trump in 2018. Alfredo appreciated, by the way, my playing The Flow by the band Married Iguana. Alfredo was in that band, and Brett Higgins, who is currently in that band, by the way, is going to be calling into the show on Monday. They have a show coming up on May 4th at The Jewel, and right here in Manchester. And so Brett's going to call in Monday to tell us all about it. So I figured I'd play that. That song. That is a great song. That was actually the last concert that I saw before the plague hit. Jenny and I went to see Edgewise at Jewel. They were opening for LA Guns that night, and that was shortly before the plague. Let's see. Tom Blanchard is relating to my computer issue. He says, "Stupid computer. I must say that 10 times a day." Well, I just don't know what the hurry is for my computer to restart and update. Oh, and I say that now the Alexa's talking. Go away, Alexa. Okay, thank you. Abigail Jem joins us in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Abigail. Well, let's see. I wanted to... Where are we for time? This is a big subject, but yeah, we'll get into it. We can always pick it up next week. Something I wanted to get into because it has to do with police reform, which obviously we've been talking about, reforming of police departments and how they operate, and criminal justice reform, which is an ongoing subject. And, you know, we had the verdict in the trial of Derek Chauvin this week. There's one of the issues around all of this is something, and some of you might be very familiar with this. Some of you may have heard the term and not have any idea, or you might be somewhere in between. But there's this issue of something called qualified immunity for police. And part of why I wanted to bring it up and I wanted to explore it a little bit is because this is something that I don't have a strong opinion on, in the sense that when we're talking specifically, and you know, if you don't know, and I'll be learning too because I don't know enough about this, we'll get into what exactly qualified immunity is. But I understand, I think, some of the arguments both for and against qualified immunity, but I don't feel like I know enough about it to really have a firm opinion about it, whether I should be for keeping qualified immunity as it is for police, or getting rid of it, or doing some version of modifying qualified immunity as it currently exists, which is probably where I'll end up on it. But I like exploring issues where I don't yet have a firm opinion myself. And, you know, I'm always very interested, of course, in getting feedback from the audience on anything that we discuss. But I'm particularly interested in hearing opinions and input from the audience, be it via phone or social media or in the Facebook live chat, which seems to be the preferred mode of communication for a lot of folks. I'm very interested in hearing input from all of you on qualified immunity. And if you don't already have an opinion about it yourself, perhaps you'll develop one as we discuss it during the show. But the state of Colorado apparently was the first state in the midst of all this, of all that's been happening, to do something on qualified immunity. And as I understand it, well, rather than relying only on my memory, because I don't want to get this wrong, let's do this. Let's look at exactly what qualified immunity means. So this is from JDS, JDSuper.com. It's a legal website. Okay. The doctrine of qualified immunity protects all government officials acting within the scope of their government duties, not just law enforcement officers. When qualified immunity is implicated, the plaintiff must demonstrate the law allegedly violated by the officer was clearly established. Now, when we're talking about police specifically, qualified immunity established by the Supreme Court in 1967 effectively protects state and local officials, including police officers, from personal liability unless they are determined to have violated what the court defines as an individual's clearly established statutory or constitutional rights. So if I understand it correctly, what it really means is it helps to protect police officers from, say, being, you know, if an officer shoots someone and kills someone in the line of duty, you know, qualified immunity gives the officers some protection against maybe prosecution or a civil lawsuit against the family of the person who was killed, et cetera. And one of the arguments that I consistently hear in favor of keeping it is, if you And again, I'm not making this argument. Like I said, I'm still trying to feel my way through all of this. I just want to make that clear for everyone. I'm just telling you some of the arguments that I hear and see and read. One of the arguments in favor of keeping it, and I believe this is Governor Sununu here in New Hampshire. I believe this was the argument that I heard him make. Actually, I think both he and his Democratic opponent in the last election, Dan Feltus, agreed on this, if I'm remembering correctly. They both supported keeping qualified immunity. But I think Governor Sununu had made the argument that if you get rid of qualified immunity, it will open things up in a way that anyone can sue the police for anything, and you will have a mass exodus of law enforcement officers. No one will want to work in law enforcement if you eliminate qualified immunity. It'll be a disaster. One of the arguments I often hear in favor of eliminating qualified immunity, or at least reducing or modifying it, is that it is the existence of qualified immunity that has allowed officers to act with such impunity when it comes to shooting someone, killing someone, what they would perceive as being in the line of duty when in actuality it wasn't necessary. Now, the case of Derek Chauvin killing George Floyd, I don't think qualified immunity was ever a question in that case, only probably because it was so obvious, right? Anyone who watches that video can clearly see what has happened there. And Derek Chauvin clearly murdered George Floyd. I don't know how any objective person, maybe Tucker Carlson, but he's not objective, right? Or Greg Gutfeld or some of these people on Fox. But I don't know how any objective, clear-thinking person could come to any other conclusion than Derek Chauvin murdered George Floyd when watching that video. But Alfredo in the chat room says his opinion, qualified immunity. Actually, let me back up here. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone's comments. I apologize. Like I said, I'm particularly interested in hearing all of your thoughts on this because like I said, I'm still trying to figure out where I stand. So Bobby Champagne said, do most people feel that police are underpaid? Now, if you make their daily work at risk for a lawsuit, who would do that? Right. In other words, that goes to the argument that if you eliminate qualified immunity, you increase the risk to these police. Now they've got, they do a dangerous job to begin with. Now they've got additional things to worry about, right, in terms of civil penalties and in terms of criminal penalties. So won't that drive people out? And again, I think that's the argument I heard Governor Sununu make. Now, on the other side, Alfredo in the chat room says qualified immunity needs to go. No one is above or below the law. Otherwise, it's not a law because it doesn't apply to everyone equally. And I think Midas said something along those lines also. The law is the law. I think that's a perfectly great point as well. Alfredo says the wrong people become cops and they aren't trained properly. Tom Blanchard says, did you hear that Chauvin held his knee on a 17-year-old boy for 19 minutes? Boy was complaining he could not breathe. I didn't know about that, Tom, but it doesn't surprise me because I know that there were a lot of complaints against Chauvin already. And not just Chauvin, by the way. This has been an ongoing problem, apparently, for a very long time in the Minneapolis Police Department. But I did not know. I was not aware of that specific case, Tom. Let's see. Bobby says, referring to Chauvin, he had a record of being a bad cop and no one did anything. Well, it's that thin blue line we hear about, right? Tom says it was in the news today. Okay. Yeah, I did not know about that. I mean, I can't say I'm particularly shocked necessarily. Now, let's look at, and we're not going to get through all this today. It's a big topic and it's already 5:30, but we'll pick it up next week. But I wanted to look at this. This is from Cato.org from the Cato Institute. This is regarding what they did in Colorado, and this was last year. But it says here, Colorado passes historic bipartisan, there's a word you don't hear or see enough, bipartisan policing reforms to eliminate qualified immunity. So they've done this in Colorado. They've tackled this directly. So let's see what they did. So Colorado Governor Jared Polis has signed into law a Senate bill known as the Law Enforcement Integrity and Accountability Act. It includes a range of major policing reforms, including a ban on the use of chokeholds, limits on when police are allowed to shoot at fleeing suspects, and requirements that officers use body cameras and the department's release the footage within 45 days. But perhaps most notably, the law ensures that police officers in Colorado will not be able to avoid liability for their misconduct due to the unlawful shield of qualified immunity. By the way, and you know, the article is written, you know, Cato is a libertarian think tank. So that's why it refers to qualified immunity as an unlawful shield. I just want to acknowledge this is written with a libertarian slant, and of course libertarians oppose qualified immunity. So just to put that in context. Abigail Jem in the chat says, I am against qualified immunity. So it says here, while many are summarizing SB 217, that's the Senate bill, as ending qualified immunity in Colorado, what the law formally does is permit individuals to bring claims against police officers who violate their constitutional rights under Colorado law. SB 217 is therefore a kind of state analog to Section 1983, our main federal civil rights statute, whereas Section 1983 creates a cause of action allowing individuals whose rights are violated under the federal Constitution to bring a lawsuit or damages in federal court. SB 217 allows individuals whose rights are violated under the state Constitution to bring a lawsuit for damages in state court. So it goes on from there. I mean, there's some details about it, but that's what I just to kind of summarize again what they've done in California. So the list is, in Colorado, no more chokeholds, no more excessive force, no more using excessive force, no more shooting at suspects when you don't really need to, because you always hear, well, you can go get them later, things like that. So it's, it kind of rolls back what the police can do. I still say the best thing we could possibly do is end the drug war, and I think that would help a lot. But we'll get into that more next week. I have another article that kind of goes through some of the pros and cons of qualified immunity. It's a big topic. There's something from findlaw.com that's very interesting that kind of goes through both sides of the debate. But I want to learn more about it. Like I said, I want to kind of form my own opinion on it. I don't know yet. Hey, Kyle.
Hello there.
Do you have any opinions on qualified immunity?
Just do the right thing.
Do the right thing?
That's all I got. I didn't hear the whole conversation.
Yes,
I just kind of walked in the last minute.
It's a great movie.
Just came back from, I was over at Gill Stadium covering the West Blue Knights baseball game versus Sauhegan Sabres, and it wasn't looking so good for the Manchester team from the West High School. So glad to be here. We'll be doing going to be guest hosting for Mr. Rob Acevedo with the Great State of Mind here at 6 o'clock. So excited.
Yes.
I want to be as Rob as I can for you. So I came in late to talk about what's going on here in the great old city of Manchester, and we got a good show lined up for sure. But Maddie, how are you doing today?
So you're just morphing into Rob right before our eyes.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. Drank a Monster on my way here, trying to really bring the crowd excited for what I have in store tonight on Greatest State of Mind. And, I saw earlier that Christian got a cupcake. What's the deal with that?
Yes. For those watching online, I'll hold up the bag for you.
Did Christian actually, clean the bathroom last night at 8 o'clock like he was saying he was going to?
I don't think he did.
So we should probably eat the cupcake then, huh? That's the deal, right? He doesn't clean. He doesn't get the cupcake.
Unfortunately, so Kristen already called, and he knows about the cupcake, and he knows it's waiting for him. So I can't. I'm trying to be very, very. It's hard. I'm trying to be very, very disciplined and not eat the cupcake.
Well, I'm here. I'm fancy. I want a cupcake. I'm just saying, Maddie. Man, can't go wrong with Queen City cupcakes though. They're gotta love that place down there. Just go in and say hi to the ladies. Give them all the love that they need. They're in a tough business these days. Cupcakes.
Love. Well, all right.
Don't give them the cream filling, but it's okay.
Jeez, wow. Oh, that sounds like a discussion for Matt Connarton Unsheathed, which is not carried here on WMNH. So only available on the dark web, and I'm legally prohibited from telling you how to find it.
Well,
yeah.
So I might have to look this up later on. It's Friday night in the city of Manchester. What else is going on here, right?
Are you going to talk like that for the entire Granite State of Mind? Because isn't your throat going to hurt?
I've been trying my best to practice this throughout the week. You know, like lead singers and bands, they got to pretend that they're they got to go with a different voice throughout the day to get on stage and sing like this. Yeah, so I gotta do what I can for the wonderful listeners here on WMNH.
Yeah. Wow. So you're really gonna go for it, huh? Good for you. Good for you.
I'm bringing the party to this wonderful WMNH studios tonight from 6 to 7 o'clock.
Wow.
The party is happening. Get out. Get seat buckled in, ladies and gentlemen. Tie your shoes. We're going to be going live here with the great sounds from North Vale. Paper Monsters just released a new song today.
Oh,
Max, my buddy Max just gave me a new song that he wants me to play as well. So we have I had Kyle Heavey from Off the Mark Sports. He actually went back and found his music, and he had a song set up for you on the CD player, but unfortunately it got turned off, so we're not able to play that. But maybe we'll play something from his band, Taking My Chance, later on.
We can turn the CD player back on.
Well, it was set up perfectly for where the song was.
Oh, I wish I'd known.
I was trying to surprise you, but
no.
you didn't like the surprise. So we'll.
I wish I'd known. I wouldn't have shut it off.
If you go to the 34-minute mark, if you want to fast forward to the 34-minute mark, we can listen to it for a quick hot minute if you want. But it's going to be a long time of holding that button down.
Oh, yeah, that's probably not going to.
Just saying, if you want to do it, I know we cut the show early on Fridays for Rob Acevedo's Granite State of Minds, and we're excited to be here to be able to.
Okay. No, I think I'm there. 34 minutes.
Perfect. That's if you want to play it. That's Kyle Heavey's band from the Dover Soul, I believe it was, back in 2007 is when they played that show.
Why is it?
You got to have the CD on the board.
Yeah, but I don't think it said 34 minutes. I think it was at 34 seconds. I misread it.
Okay. That's gonna be a fun one.
Well,
Reading is tough sometimes. I understand.
I can hold this button down. All right. So wow. So you're really gonna now. So is that
Rob's in Florida? He's not listening to the show. He's gonna listen to the replay for sure. But I want to make him proud. I want to do everything I can. Always love you, Maddie. I always love being a part of your show and appreciate the support that all the DJs here at Off the Mark Sports, at WMNH Studios, including Off the Mark Sports, brings to the table.
Right. Very good. And you should, while I'm sitting here holding this button down, you should give a plug for Off the Mark Sports.
Off the Mark Sports? Well, Matt, dude, I don't know what your voice to do right now. This is really struggle.
Uh-oh.
Should I talk like this or talk like this? Or I can just do my normal stuff. Off the Mark Sports, Sundays from 10 to noon with replays on Wednesday from 6 to 8 o'clock. We have a last show before the NFL draft this week. It's funny, Matt. I went to the Bruins game 2 weeks ago, and they got destroyed, Matt. Destroyed 8-1, and they haven't lost since.
Oh.
Like, they've been unbelievable, the best team in the National Hockey League. We'll get all into the details about how good they are, and they're going to be in some issues here with goalies. They have, like, 3 really good goalies that, how do you say, sorry, you can't be a part of the playoffs and send them home? So it's going to be an interesting call for Don Sweeney and Cam Neely. And then also the Celtics have been playing pretty well. They beat one of the best teams in the league last night. Red Sox have still been pretty much winning, but we'll get into them. We'll see how they do versus the Seattle Mariners. They lost last night in extra innings. And it's going to be a fun show. I'm not sure on the guests just yet, just kind of waiting to see, hear back. But, been busy with lacrosse and baseball this week, and we're going to do my first softball game on Monday between the Central Little Green and I forget actually who they're facing. I think Bedford Bulldogs on Monday. So another great show planned for Sunday morning. So stay tuned. 250-6007, the phone lines for Matt's show, as well as Off the Mark Sports on Sunday morning.
I always give the area code because, as you know, Kyle, we have people listen online from all over the world, really.
On my show, Granite State of Mind, I got some boys calling in from New Jersey, so I totally understand where you're coming from, where you got to make sure that the area code is right, because who knows, if they call in 250-6007 in New Jersey, they could be getting, who knows what happens down there.
Right. Alfredo in the chat room says, I don't know if Rob has such a gravelly voice.
I'm sorry. I blame the monster. I've had too much energy in me right now, and just trying to bring the Rob energy to the show. So I will do my best.
I also don't know if Rob slams his hands into the table like that. I've never really noticed him do that. But whatever. Let's see. So we're at about 15 minutes on this timer here, trying to get to. So what is it what happens when I get to 34 minutes? What are we going to hear?
It's going to be called Hands Up is the song that you will be played. Unfortunately, this was a live performance from a Dover Soul. It's a great place out there in Dover, New Hampshire, where the Taken by Chance had played. And
so this is Taken by Chance, the band.
This is the band Taken by Chance that Kyle Heavey from Off the Mark Sports was a part of back in the 2000s. Man, it seems so weird to say that. It's like you talk about the 80s and the 90s. Now we got to say like the 2000s.
Well, we never really, we never really came up with something better. Like in the United States.
Uh-ohs. I know that was like a nickname that they were trying to give it, but that didn't really catch on.
Or the aughts.
The aughts. Yeah, that sounds odd.
Yeah, it does. I feel awkward saying it, so I've never said it. I've always just said the 2000s, but yeah, the aughts.
But to think, I mean, this was a long time ago. I had a great time looking through my old CDs this week, Matt, and preparing for the show Off Granite State of Mind, and I think I got some sweet songs planned from the Manchester, Concord, and the state of New Hampshire, because it's the Granite State of Mind. We got to keep it the Granite State.
Yes, of course. I forget. Do you have guests coming in?
I'm waiting to hear back from him right now. I got Steve Shagnon. He plays up in the Concord area. Really talented guy. I'm waiting for him to see. I know he read my message, but I know he was getting out of work somewhat late. So fingers crossed that he's able to make it down here and avoid the traffic. Because the First Lady was up in the Concord area today, so it kind of put a little damper on travel plans for some of those as she flew into Manchester and did events in the Concord and Plymouth, I believe it was.
Oh, I forgot that was today. I totally forgot about that. Our First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden.
No, it's the Vice President. Excuse me, I said that incorrectly.
Oh, the Vice President.
Yeah, Kamala Harris. There we go.
Kamala Harris, yes.
Yes, I thankfully I didn't have to deal with the traffic, but I know that the state police and the New Hampshire Department of Transportation were out and about from some of my friends that were driving around the state of New Hampshire.
Wow. Well, I think what we'll do is, so I'm going to, I'll start to wrap up the show now, and by the time I'm wrapping up, hopefully we will have arrived at 34 minutes on the CD, and we will play, because I've been saying to Kyle for forever now, I want to hear the band that, Kyle was in.
Yeah, it sounds good. I apologize. Someone should have warned you to not turn that off. But either way, we're excited to hear this and give your pointer finger credit. It's been a long take on holding down that fast forward button. and you're handling it like a champ over there, Maddie.
We're up to 27 minutes.
Oh, it's almost like New Year's. We're waiting for things to happen.
Right.
Been waiting 365 days for this ball to fall. Instead, we're excited to listen to some Taken by Chance, their song Hands Up, which was their first single from their now defunct band album.
And there's no naughty words, I assume.
No, we were clean, well-dressed, well-played, handsome men that did everything right. Just couldn't stay together, and that was the only thing that we did wrong.
And what did you play in the band?
I was the bass man. I slapped the bass.
So, were there other bands at this show? Is that why?
Yeah, it was a battle of the bands, and the lead singer guitarist was actually in school for music engineering, so he recorded the whole entire show, and unfortunately, he didn't put songs. He didn't cut the songs to make it easy for those like yourself to be able to listen to these songs. So.
We're almost there.
We're almost there.
Yeah. All right.
Final countdown.
How long is the song?
Well, it's up to you. If you like it, then it can be 4 minutes. If you don't like it, it can be 30 seconds. It's your call.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and I'll play the song and then I'll wrap up because I can give instant feedback. All right, here we go.
Ooh, instant feedback.
Let's see. So I'm going to turn it. I've never used a CD player here.
Oh, yeah. So you're going to press the play pause button, and then that should start playing.
All right, here we go.
We will. Apparently, I was wrong on the time.
Is that you or is that the previous band?
No, I apparently was wrong on the time, so my apologies. This song should be ending in just a moment, and then because this is the end of the song right here.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is the end of the previous band, and then we'll hear Taken by Chance.
Yes. Can you believe we're listening to CDs still,
Yeah. All right, so... Oh. Who was this band? Do you remember?
I don't remember at all. Anyway, so yeah.
This song goes on for a while, I guess.
They had a long conclusion.
Yeah, we're at 35 minutes now.
Well, now I'm just confused.
Yeah.
I have another song for you.
Hold on. Oh. Well. That song just ended. What is this?
That was another CD I found the other day.
Oh.
And number 3 would be the best song from that.
But can I just advance right to number 3?
Yeah. That one actually has things in it.
Thank you guys for coming out tonight.
Oh.
Well, we're at...
It sounds like that's over. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm confused now. Maybe I had the wrong time altogether.
Maybe. All right, let's see.
By chance too.
Oh. And nope. I had it all wrong, so my apologies.
We're from the New Hampshire area.
Yeah, but
Some
I don't
from
want this
Concord,
song.
I'm from the Seacoast.
All right.
And,
So my fault. I will get through the song. Well, if you want to play number 3 on this one here.
Well, I got to wrap up because because you're up next live anyway.
Sorry, Maddie.
That's okay.
We'll get this straightened out.
Can I borrow this CD?
I don't know what's on it. I just know number 3 was. I wanted you to play a certain song, and it's all good.
I could play it Monday.
All right, I'll be here.
It's already almost 10 of, and I gotta save my show, and you gotta get over here after I clean.
Yeah,
So
appreciate you.
We'll wrap up.
We'll
That's
get
okay.
this figured out.
That's all right. All right, very good. Well, stick around for Granted State of Mind up next at 6 p.m. And then, of course, Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C up tonight at 7:30. I will be back for that. And that that's going to be it for me for now. If you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org and at MattConnarton.com. I'm going to close out with another Married Iguana song. Brett Higgins from Married Iguana will be calling in on Monday to talk about his upcoming show at Jewel. This is called Farewell, My Friend, and I will talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Kyle.